Okay. This will make sense, I promise.
Just stick with it.
Yeah. You'll see it eventually. So hi, welcome Friend and Allies. It's me, your friend Ben, and a new face on the channel, friend of the channel, Alex.
Yo. Oh my God, the sun's back.
Oh God damn it! Look at the sun. Just made that joke off camera. Anyway, we are driving morning one to March on Music City. It's in Nashville. We're excited. It's actually Friday, and Alex and I are doing doubles.
Yes, we are mad lads enough to play 3 rounds of doubles on Friday, followed by the longest tournament yet, 6 rounds of 2.5-hour games with 4 games on Saturday.
Yep. And then 2 games on Sunday that are both 3 hours instead of 2.5.
Because why not? They have the time now.
Because fuck it. And they really want Top Table to be sweating by the end of it. But yeah, no. So to explain this, you'll see a little video in a second, but we're doing doubles on Friday, and we're playing as the Bjornings, which Alex has beautifully painted as Donkey Kong and Funky Kong. Under this D&D hoodie, I just have a fucking tank top that I'm gonna be wearing, and yeah, we decided to send it for this because we're very excited about it.
Well, I was like just gonna wear a tie and figure out something else, and then I happened to go into a Nintendo store just like a couple days before, and found this beautiful DK sweater.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh no, I gotta. I don't care what it costs. I gotta send it.
Yeah, no, this is fantastic, and we are gonna go grab some coffee. You know, I got a caffeinate, and then we'll be at the place. We'll probably give you just like a after we're done with the day update for this one, because this is going to be definitely a longer video because it will include the whole tournament. So anyway, you'll also see 2 other friends of the channel. Probably I have to ask if they want to be in the video, and yeah, well, stick tuned is what I said. Goodbye.
Bye.
Hi.
Hello.
We're done with doubles. It went pretty well, honestly, because bam, screenshot. We won.
Hey, let's go.
We won doubles.
Oh, so excited. This is like we both said this already, like off camera, but like the tournament's done. Like whatever happens like the next couple of days, like who cares?
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
We're great. This was we cared way more about the doubles than we did about the actual tournament.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we game 1 we were against actually our teammates for the GT. We're in a 4-person team with those 2.
Trying to rip us apart from the get-go.
Yeah, they have the Balrog and then like 60 goblins, 62 goblins.
Yes. But, however, for all those amount of goblins, the Balrog only has 10 in his warband.
Which is important.
Which they had alternating corner deployments, so we were like, that's a small amount of goblins with the Balrog. Let's go apply bear to that real quick.
And so we literally just penciled in on the Balrog, and in the first combat, I blew all of Grimbjorn's might to do 2 wounds to him, which was fine.
We needed all the wounds we can get. I'm honestly still, even looking back, I'm still okay with that.
I agree. I actually completely agree with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
And so then,
fear in them.
Yeah, and then after that, it was both bears into the Balrog, and he kept peeling off Grimbjorn, but he didn't call heroic combat.
No, he was just like, no, there's no point in calling combat.
I can't kill them all, so I'm not calling heroic combat. And I was like,
there was absolutely a
there was absolutely a reason, because what I did was I would just win with Grimbjorn and then barge back into the Balrog, and it happened twice.
Yeah,
and I was like, in my head, I'm like, man.
I was like, no way, he forgot again, on that second one, but
no, whatever. I think he had kind of accepted his fate at that point.
I guess so.
Because even if I didn't barge, the Balrog would have been trapped.
Yeah.
But.
That's why he did it, because he accidentally moved a goblin that would have trapped the Balrog. So he called that one first to try to untrap him, but it just ended up being more dice got thrown
into the
because
Balrog.
Bear was there. Yeah.
True.
I would have called the even in that scenario, I would have still called the Bjorn one first, I think.
I agree. No, completely. Because you can't risk having both bears at the Balrog.
Oh yeah, no.
But anyway, so we killed the Balrog after like 2 or 3 turns, and then they instantly break, and the scenario ends on a 1 or 2 potentially.
Yeah.
After breaking, and so then it was just a bum rush to the center, and kind of because of big ass terrain piece, we ended up having more models in the center.
It was really I kind of blocked off with some of my archers blocked a lot of his archers coming in.
That's true.
There was a little bit of positioning and stuff, but it was mostly Jinx for him.
Yeah, so we had more models in the middle. We had killed their leader, and was Bjorn wounded at all?
No,
I didn't think so.
No, he did. Balrog didn't win a single combat.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
he
that's
just
true.
Yeah,
he tied one.
Well, he got a single throwing weapon whip, but then I bear saved it.
True.
Yeah.
So then that game was a win. Then game 2, we went against Lothlorien.
Yeah, without Galadriel, but with Celeborn.
Yeah.
However,
had Rumail and Haldir.
Yeah, Celeborn didn't really matter because
again, it was corner deployment.
Yeah, weird corner, not exactly the same, but still quadrant deployment.
Yeah.
So we had a secret target. We're supposed to not talk. Well, yes, we did not talk about our target during the game. It says you are not allowed to talk during the game, but it does not say that you cannot talk about it the day before on the car ride up with a nice handful of buckies, talking about which things we would pick in theory.
In theory, if we played that scenario and if we went through all the armies, who would we pick? So we didn't break the rules.
Yeah, no, we followed the spirit of what the book said. Yeah,
and so we picked Rumail, because we could have picked Haldir because he has 1 less fate, but we thought maybe they might keep Haldir back to shoot.
Yeah,
depending on
which I saw him put some people up on the bridge, and I was like, oh, might be valid. He might put Haldir up there. He didn't.
He didn't.
There was even a thought there for the moment with them. But there was no magic over. Celeborn was all the way relegated
on the other side. Because since we kind of knew which person we were going for, we just posted up as close as we could to their warband on that side. Yeah,
exactly.
And so it took Celeborn basically the entire game to get over to
At least 4 to 5 turns of just moving full speed
and not being able to do anything.
Yeah.
And we just cleaned up that warband, killed Haldir and Rumail, I think in the same turn.
Was it the same turn? It was the same turn, yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, we could have picked either of them, but actually regular Bjornings killed Haldir.
Yes.
Which was
Haldir failed 2 combats against normal Bjornings,
which really close.
Right.
That was a pretty rough one, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then we started moving back towards the center after we killed Rumil, because part of this scenario is you want to have your opponent's target be in the center.
Yeah.
There was so much debate about that rule specifically.
Mm-hmm. The wording.
The wording
GW
is super
sometimes
weird.
Yeah.
So we tried to get back to the center. Beorn was both of their targets, but we couldn't quite get him in.
No, he was just getting transfixed to hell. Yeah.
Because it was another one where it might break after. Might end after breaking.
Breaking, yeah.
Yeah. So it
It
ended
pretty quickly. Yeah.
It was either the first. Oh, it was the first turn.
It was the first
Again.
turn. Yeah.
It was the first turn.
Yeah.
That it
What
could have
can you
ended.
do?
Yeah, and so Grimbeorn was there, but he wasn't one of their targets. But regardless, it was because they had a banner.
Yeah.
It was a 10-4.
Yeah.
Another win, and then
the game.
Okay.
the one of the tensest games I ever played in my life. It was chaotic.
It was chaotic. So we were playing against Shadows of Angmar. So it was Gullivar, 3 Bear Whites, and the Shadow of Rudar. And we're playing. What was there? It's like there's like 4 objectives or 5 objectives. This is the center one.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 primary forces start right in each other's faces.
In the middle 6 inches.
And then the secondary forces, which is me and the like Shadow of Rudar, and 2 Bear Whites, are Maelstrom to come on. So my Maelstrom roll was like a 5, so I could choose east or west.
Yep.
I came in near a terrain piece because I thought that it would be good, because I want to split up my warbands to go up to two objectives, and also because this terrain piece is there, I can kind of put a bubble around Grimbeorn. Even if he comes in the next turn, Grimbeorn can still transform. Because we asked the TO, and Grimbeorn cannot transform as he's coming onto the board.
Right, because you can't use active rules off the battlefield, and you have to do it at the start before he moves.
Exactly.
Which, it makes sense.
No, I get it. And after they explained it, I was like, oh no, definitely, you're right. But so then all of their Maelstrom rolls were 5s.
Fives
or
or
6s.
Yeah.
And so he
They were
basically
fine.
came in around on either side of me.
Yeah.
Tried casting. Honestly, his casting was not.
His casting was
great.
abysmal. It was the only reason this game was so close. Like, if we had been paralyzed, that would have been a whole other
game. But so eventually we're duking it out on my side. They're immediately duking it out in the middle. Gullivar charges turn 1, right?
I charged.
He charged.
He charged.
He used a move to
Yeah.
charge into like a regular Bjorn.
Yeah, and then I called a combat and sent a bunch of people. I thought I had trapped him, but I didn't.
Correct. There was
And
like just a
A
slight.
little bit of wiggle room, and then got like 1 wound off, sending like 16 dice or something.
It was
like
a crazy
that.
amount of
Yeah,
dice.
pretty crazy.
Yeah, it was only like 1 wound. The paralyze didn't work on Bjorn. Either it didn't get off or you resisted. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But
Not every time.
not every time.
Not every time.
No. Eventually, you did get paralyzed.
Yep. Thankfully, I had to use a might, but thankfully I resisted turn 1 because it was a 5 up to a 6 with the might, and then I was off. But I was still the crazy thing about paralyzed, you're still prone after you get out of it. Like, you immediately get knocked prone and you're paralyzed the whole time, and you can't get up until you get out of the paralysis mode.
Yeah. Sorry, total train went off the tracks.
Oh.
We're a little tired.
Oh, I'm tired, boss. I've been mentally drained. Yeah.
So we're duking it out on both sides. Eventually, I'm trying to I'm slowly moving out because he's moving away from me, or I'm getting kills, and then we're getting towards the objectives that we need to get to. You had sent some people towards another one, which sort of eventually kind of distracted Gullivar for a little while.
Yeah. He had to come over and address it.
Which was good. But before that, there was one turn where Beorn
like ate it. Like it was.
Oh yeah, no, he
bad.
got like 4 wounds off the paralysis charge from Golivar. Got down to 1 wound. Had to use a might to up a 3 to a 4. Otherwise, he would have straight died from that assault.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. And then, but after that, Bjorn stayed alive.
He stayed, despite all odds, despite everything being thrown, the world being thrown at him, he was just
stayed alive
hanging
until
in there.
The second to last turn.
Yeah.
And eventually Grimbjorn kind of slowly makes his way towards the center. I kind of debated Gullivar a little bit, thought maybe they'll get into
the threat of the heroic combat.
The threat of the heroic combat was intense, but didn't end up utilizing that. Slightly bad positioning. Also, I kind of wanted Grimbjorn to be towards the center just in case we could get that. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, it ended up getting down to the wire, and in the very last turn, because it ends on quartering, we were debating do we actually try to get kills this turn?
Do we win right now or do we not? I actually because I was that kind of I actually whipped out the rule book, I did the math, and I was like, wait, I think we win.
Yeah.
And I was like, please let me, I doubt if I calculated correctly for a second.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh wait, no, I double checked, I think we're good. And we were.
Yeah, we were.
By 1 point.
By 1 point, because we had 2 objectives. There was one uncontested. There was no one by it because his horse ran away. They had an objective, and then they had the center one because of Gullivar.
Because of Gullivar. However, literally the only reason they didn't win is because they didn't kill the one guy that Gullivar went against.
We would have tied.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the one person Gullivar went against, he lost the combat, took some wounds.
Because that one person, the reason for that is that one person was our breaking.
Our break point.
Yeah, our break point. And we got points for breaking while being unbroken, which let us get over them.
By 1.
No, they would have won then, because it would have been 1 point, because we got 3 for breaking while being unbroken. It would have been down to 1 each.
Oh, so they would have
won if Gullivar didn't. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Really that close.
Really that close. Literally the last turn. So it was an 8-9 victory. Honestly, nail biter.
Yeah.
Crazy. And that was doubles, baby.
That's it.
We got first.
That's all, folks.
And it was great. Yeah, we're done. We're whatever happens now.
And we're just mad lads enough that we did a practice game
right after
for the singles game.
I didn't get any
that.
footage of that, but we did. And honestly, he obliterated me.
It was, World of Blades is pretty...
You know what? Last Alliance versus Barjor, you should
awesome.
obliterate me.
That's...
It's iconic. You did win historically. Makes sense.
But Elendil didn't even get to go against Sauron. Not one time. Yeah.
That's true. I should have done some different things with my deployment, but honestly, it was fine.
It was just a practice
It was
game.
definitely a good learning experience.
For sure.
But, yeah. I'll do maybe a video tomorrow with the 2 other guys if they're interested. We'll talk about our armies for tomorrow. And, talk about the games tomorrow night. So, we'll
Sounds good.
See you later.
Bye.
Won't be able to see. Please don't record.
Part of it was. Okay. Good morning. Day 2 for Alex and I. Day 1 for Will, also friend of the channel, and Nick driving, friend of the channel. Alex is in the passenger seat. We're freaking rocking and rolling at March Music City. So I am running Barad-dûr, Sauron, 2 Troll Chieftains, 39 orcs, 2 banners, and just whatever equipment Ian had that I could borrow. Will, what are you running?
I'm running the Return of the King with Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas, and King of the Dead, of course, and a bunch of Deady boys.
It's gonna be scary, literally. You're terrified.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nick?
I am running Ben's Army of the Woods.
Yeah.
Which will be including Treebeard with the obvious Merry and Pippin, the 2 heroes, and then a collection of trees. It gives me a total of 10 models, when realistically it's only 8 tree boys. And yeah, I'm gonna be chucking stones at motherfuckers, and yeah, just gonna be doing monster things, being a problem child for everyone in the tournament.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Alex?
I'm running Last Alliance. You know, I'm running Last. Screw Numenor. Because I'm only running Elendil as he's required, and then the rest of it is straight elves for the nasty world blades.
Yeah. It's gonna be great. I played against it last night. I think I told you guys in the video last night. Slaughtered. It was bad.
The only good elf is the dead elf.
Yeah, they're rough. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. The TO's gonna talk to us. It may be 5 games today instead of, or not today. 5 games total instead of 6 games total. But if it's 6, we're doing 4 games today.
6 is a lot.
Our brains I like playing games.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll check in probably at the end of the day because it's a lot. Okay, bye.
Georgia.
Georgia gang.
Anaheim is down. The prophecy is true.
Good morning. You know we had to cabinet 100%.
Oh, you know it.
Dude.
Oh, you know it.
Like, not only did we make a coffee, we also bought like a fridge coffee.
Oh yeah.
For like game 2 today.
Game 2. I'm gonna be chugging that as soon as I'm done with the large one.
Yeah, dude. Okay, so we were all fucking tired last night. So still today, but we went to Charlie's for dinner.
Excellent.
It was good, and then we just like put on Home Alone while we all took a shower at the same time. I'm just kidding. And then we went to fucking sleep.
Yeah. I didn't even make it to the movie. I don't know.
No, Nick turned it off.
Oh,
like
okay. I was well gone before that.
No,
so.
once I finished my shower, he turned it off, and we just went to sleep.
Okay.
But yeah, I have from day 1 all 4 games I did. 2 major losses, 1 minor loss, and a major win. So I'm sitting at like 7 tournament points ish. Alex, what's your record right now?
I'm sitting on 2 major wins, a minor loss, and a major loss.
Okay. Also kind of middle of the pack, but definitely better than me.
Alright.
Yeah, I think Nick is the best right now, right?
Yeah, I think he's sitting on at 3 wins of some combination.
And a loss.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Will is he had a tie at some point, but he's like has the same number of tournament points that I do, so we're kind of in the same place. Honestly, we have no idea what we're playing against today, but we only have 2 pools of scenarios left. And it's like kill scenarios and unique scenarios, so we'll see what even happens today. I'm gonna give like a bigger, more in-depth recap. I'm probably gonna record it tomorrow, to be honest with you, because I'm fucking beat. So,
oh yeah.
Anyway, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Hi. Okay, so it's actually been like a month since March on Music City, and I was planning on recording this like on the drive home with Alex, but we were really tired, mentally tired from the weekend, and we honestly just didn't want to talk about the game anymore. So I was like, I'll record it later, and then later moved to a week, and then 2 weeks, and then it just kept snowballing. And my goal for 2026 is just to put out more content. So you know what? That's what we're doing, and I'm just doing it. So hello, this has been no break for you, but a month for me. So my games, I didn't actually get that much footage of the game, so I'm just gonna kind of sneak it in here as I'm talking about each game. So day 1, game 1, I went against Lothlorien. He had Celeborn, the 3 twins, or the three brothers, not 3 twins, that doesn't even make sense. The 3 brothers, Haldir, Orphan, and Rumel, and he had a Stormcaller, so he had 2 casters, and we were playing Sites of Power. It's Maelstrom scenario, which kind of sucked for me. It wasn't that great. He sort of was able to come all in the same corner area of the board, and in Sites of Power you also want to like pick a unit to target. I chose Rumel. I thought like Rumel will want to be in combats, so like because maybe Haldir could stick back, even though he's technically easier to kill because he has like less wounds or less fate or something. Maybe he'd be easier to kill. But Haldir could just sit back and shoot arrows, right? Like you don't necessarily know if he's going to be in combat or not. So I'm like, Rumel, you kind of want to be in combat. Like his thing is combat-based rerolls and stuff. So I was like, I'm going to target Rumel. He had to choose one of my trolls. Basically, he started in one corner. I was on one half of the board, but one of my trolls was put behind, like I had to go through a river, so it took me forever to get through there. We sort of kind of tried to converge. I went towards one objective in one area. He was holding one. I held one of them. Sort of just started fighting in the middle. Neither Sauron or Celeborn ended up being wounded, even though I just kept hurling guys at him over and over. I never got a wound on him. He didn't wound Sauron. He did end up killing his target. I think he actually ended up controlling every objective. He controlled every objective. He killed his target. I didn't touch Rumel. It was a brutal loss. It was pretty bad, but fun game, good game. That was the theme of my March on Music City experience. Actually, was brutal loss, but fun game. Just to kind of give you a preview, I lost 5 out of the 6 games. It was between majors and minors. I don't remember exactly. It was a month ago. So, but I lost 5 out of my 6 games. I only won 1. So that's gonna be the theme of this. Game 2, I was going against Reclamation of Osgiliath. I don't have his exact list because it wasn't in Tabletop Admiral, but he had Boromir, Faramir, Madril, And I think he just had a regular captain maybe, and then just a smattering of dudes. So we were playing Breakthrough, 2 objectives on the side, you each have an objective. I posted Sauron up right in the center because I'm like, Sauron just has to get to that back objective. Like that's the name of this game, basically. I posted one of my trolls up on one side at one of the objectives, and then he posted up, he kind of just did a good wall, except he put Boromir directly in front of that troll on that side. I'm like, I have to kill Boromir. Like that's the goal here, right? Like, so I have my other troll on the other side of the board, but he ends up just fighting in the center, basically. I run one of my Warg Riders back to my own objective, because honestly in deployment I forgot to put some people back there. I just had him run back there and hope that he wasn't going to be able to get around me. Boromir and this troll are fighting for so long. So turn 1, Boromir charges into the troll, so he has an extra attack. And I'm nervous because he doesn't outfight me, but he does outmight me by a lot. Faramir's not near him, so he can't like share stuff yet. I was worried about that. But turn 1, I like use, I think it was like 3 end of free will to try to chill soul Boromir's horse. Turn 1. It does go off, but he has to burn all of his will to resist it. And then he does resist it. So Boromir's still on his horse. Actually, wait. I don't think he did. I think he failed the test because Boromir ended up on the ground. I think he failed it. And so Boromir and this troll are fighting even though Boromir's on the ground. That fight between Boromir and the troll, whether there was other people in combat too or not, lasted the entire game. It took literally the whole game, and I got Boromir down to like 1 wound and like 0 fate left, but ultimately he ended up killing the troll. Like there's nothing I could do about it. It was a long fight. But in the center, I'm using Sauron to kind of like kill or barge or move his way towards that back objective. Because basically, if I get Sauron near that back objective, I will own it. Like because he's dominant 10. Not likely after all the killing that he'll be able to get anybody else over there. This was a much closer game in the end. I'm sorry that I don't remember victory points. This is my fault for not recording closer to when I actually did this. But basically at the end, in the last turn, he killed my Warg Rider that was there at my objective, but I moved on to his objective in the back. He owned both the side objectives, and Boromir was wounded and Sauron wasn't wounded. So this was a much closer game. But I did end up losing this one. I think if I had managed to kill Boromir, I would have like snuck a minor win out, but I just couldn't do it. Boromir's tough, especially in like the Ministerial or the Reclamation lists. He's a tough nut to crack, but lost 2. So then I go into game 3 of the day, and I'm going against the Champions of Erebor. I feel like they're called something else now, but basically it was just Thorin's company, but all souped up. So it's just the dwarves, but they have like heavy armor and they have even more special rules and all that kind of stuff. They have like 27 might or some stupid shit like that. I got really lucky with the scenario pull on this one because we were playing Treasure Hoard, and I vastly outnumber him. Right, so you either want to have more objective markers on your person, and you want to have like 3 models in their backfield. It took forever for some of my orcs to pick them up because you need to do an intelligence check, and orcs are very stupid. And I didn't necessarily want Sauron to have that many, if any, objectives on his person at all, because like Sauron's tough, but if I do some bad positioning and he gets swarmed by like 3 or 4 of those dwarves, he could easily be taken out by some of these guys because Dwalin is like 2-handing burly strength 5 or some shit. I didn't want that smoke. So Sauron basically didn't fight that whole game. It got to the point where I had like 4 or 5 of the treasure markers and he only had like 1. I think he only had 1. And then that game ends on quartering, so I kind of just had to force him to quarter me by charging into models that didn't have a shield. So he couldn't shield, he had to attack me. Forced him to quarter me, and I ended up winning that game because I threw some models into his backfield, And he was close to having some of the dwarves into mine, but the victory points specifically say the model has to be wholly within 12 inches of the board edge, and his model's base was just barely into it. Like, most of the model was not in the 12 inches. If it had been like the edge of the base wasn't within 12 inches, I would have given it to him, but because it was the other way around, like the edge of the base was just barely into 12 inches, I couldn't do it. I felt bad, but that was my one win for the tournament. Was game 3 on day 1. Game 4 on day 1. So imagine, put yourself, I think we talked about this during the time, but 1,000-point games are so mentally taxing, and we did 4 of them in one day. It's fun in hindsight. Like, I had a great time, but like right before that 4th game, I'm like, God damn, we're all like super tired. But anyway, I ended up playing a great guy for my game 4. He was playing Army of Gundabad with Bolg, a bunch of like 3 ogres and like a bunch of berserkers, a couple bats. Like, he built the list really well. The scenario is Escort the Wounded, which I've never played before this. I also had never played Sights of Power in game 1, so that was kind of fun. Actually, I'd never played Treasure Hoard. There was a bunch of scenarios in this one that I had never played. I think half. I have a little sheet here so I remember who I played and what I played. Yeah, literally half the scenarios I hadn't played before. Anyway, so that's kind of fun. But we're playing Escort the Wounded. Basically, you have 3 wounded models that you're trying to get to the corners of your opponent's board edge. People debate whether or not that makes sense in the first place, but whatever. So if you are a monster, you can move heavy objects, not impeding your move distance at all. This would have been great for me because I have 3 monsters on my list, except he also had 3 monsters in his list. He had 3 ogres, which are more mobile than my monsters. And he also, in Army of Gundabad, gets like free heroic marches every other turn. He's like moving them all over the board, and I just am trying to slowly get them going. That ended up being like a really big fight in the center. Just orc on orc fighting. Sauron is doing his best. I do get one of the trolls into Bolg. I think I chill sold his warg at some point because he wasn't on it, and he had gotten close to Mighty Hero, but I don't think that he quite got it for Bolg because Bolg has that ramping ability where he kills more models, he gains more abilities. I did get the troll into him and got him down to like 1 wound, no fate. He's like so close to death. He ended up getting all of his wounded models. I did end up getting 1 because Sauron was carrying 1 up the center, and then I had 2 orcs just carry it the rest of the way. It was very close to not getting it because a bat started to come over there and potentially bother them, but I ended up getting it on the last turn, getting it in there. And then also on the last turn, Sauron was in a combat with 1 goblin and then chucked the goblin at Bolg. Like, I needed to roll my highest distance. I needed to pass the intelligence check, which isn't hard for Sauron, but it is still a thing. And I don't think I killed the goblin that I threw, but I did kill Bolg on the very last turn of the game, which felt great. But because he had gotten all of his wounded and I had only gotten 1, and I'm pretty sure I was broken and he wasn't. I don't think he was even close to breaking. He ended up pulling out the win on that one. It was a super fun game. It was a really good time. I did lose that one, but that was the end of day 1. So day 2, we're going game 5. I am going against Last Alliance. So super thematic game. Very cool. I was super happy that there was 2 Last Alliance lists. One was Alex and one was this other guy, whose name was also Ben, by the way. So that was kind of fun. We get Assassination. So it's basically we just want to kill each other. So it was great. It was super fun to do this thematic matchup. And you'll see in my little clips, this was the only time in the entire tournament that Sauron died. And what a better way. What about, like, it couldn't have been a better army for me to go against where Sauron died. Basically, I choose Arrestor as my assassination target, and I just choose one of the trolls to be the assassin, because I have to. Early on in the game, I tried to transfix Arrestor because I was in, like, perfect barge distance with one of my trolls. So I tried to transfix him. I should have cast on the captain that turn. I should have done Chill Soul or transfix on the captain that turn, because that immediately told him who my target was. So I made a little bit of a blunder there, because maybe if I had made him think that I was choosing the captain, he would have pulled the captain away and had a Restore in the fights. Because basically what ended up happening was he resisted the spell and then kind of immediately ran away. Which is fair. That's exactly what he should do. And I have to have my trolls in combat, so he's gonna kill one of them. And Elendil wasn't his... Oh wait, no, Elendil was his leader. Or was Elrond his leader? I don't remember. Basically, we're just in a line and we're just fighting. We're fighting it out. Arrestor ends up running in the back. I tried a cheeky thing that I then realized was wrong because someone corrected me. Nick corrected me. But basically what I tried to do, which was wrong, what I tried to do was I heroic combated with Sauron. What I needed to have happen was Sauron kill the elf in front and the Numenor in back to give myself enough room, which I did end up doing, which was good, so that Sauron could come around his back line into a random unit that was there, and then hurl a model from that combat at Arrestor to try to wound him. Because that was kind of my only option at this point, was to be hurling guys at him and maybe try to slowly make my way before the game type ended. That was wrong. You can't heroic combat and hurl a model, because my hurl was successful and I actually wounded Arrestor in this moment, which counts for victory points. So ultimately I was like, after we had submitted the scores, I was like, hey man, I was told that I did this wrong. We need to go talk to the TO and change our victory points, because it could matter, like when it comes to, because the first tiebreaker for this tournament after like wins or losses was the VP differential. So those couple of victory point difference might have made a difference for him in his overall score. I was like, I can't be like the problem for that. So let's go change it. It wasn't a big thing. It wasn't a big deal. We just changed really fast. Nothing had been submitted yet. It was like within 5 or 10 minutes of us finishing our game. None of the, like a bunch of games were still going on. Like it wasn't that big a deal, but I was like, we gotta go do this. My conscience was like ruined for a minute. Anyway, back to the actual game. Because I had done that, because I put Sauron in the back line, like in his back line, Sauron immediately got swarmed by elves in Numenor. I had used all my might during the game, so basically he's fully surrounded Sauron with elves and Numenorians, and he wins the combat. Sauron's transfixed, he's trapped, he blows, like he gets through. Elrond only has 1 might left. He gets through trying to wound him, and he gets down to 1 wound left. Sauron does, there's 1 wound left. Elrond could use a point of might to might it up to potentially kill Sauron, because we know Sauron gets his ring rolls, and he wavers about it. He's like, no, I'm not, no. And he's then at like in the last second, he's like, you know what, I'll use Elrond's last point of might to put this wound on Sauron, because when do I have this chance? Because he's never really played against Sauron before, and he's like, this is thematic, this is cool, this is fun. Puts the last wound on Sauron. I'm like, okay, here's my ring roll, and it's a 1. And I don't have any might left on Sauron, so Sauron dies. It was like the one time I have to roll for his ring roll, and I roll a 1, and I don't have might. We both cheered, actually, when it happened. It was very funny, very cool. The game carried on for a little bit. I ended up wounding Elendil. Elendil was the leader. I ended up wounding Elendil, which got me some VPs, which was nice, but ultimately I did lose the game. I had lost it before, even when I had just wounded Arrestor, so it didn't change anything for that, but again, that VP differential, I would have felt bad. So then I'm going into game 6, and I'm going against Thorin's Company. So I played Thorin's Company kind of twice this tournament, and playing against a super nice guy, he usually gets best sport at these events. He had decided to play Thorin's Company for the entire year, basically. He was actually interviewed for the SMEGL podcast. If you go look it up, it's the What's Taters podcast. You should go listen to it. I haven't listened to it yet. I'm planning on it. But he talked about his whole experience playing Thorin's Company for the full year. And I'm very excited to listen to it. We're playing maybe one of the worst scenarios I could have drawn to play against Thorin's Company. We're playing lead from the front, which is, there's 3 objectives, and you want to have a hero of the highest heroic tier near those objectives. So all of his dwarves either match or are better than my trolls, and Thorin is a hero of legend, so I don't even have that advantage for Sauron. It's kind of like I'm hoping that I can just contain him to these 2 objectives and then maybe hold one of the side ones, because I need my trolls to be involved for me to be able to do anything. But I also had to worry about Gandalf in this scenario, because since it's plain Thorin's Company, it's all of the dwarves, it's Gandalf, and it's Bilbo, so it's the whole 15 members of Thorin's Company. It was super fun. He's a good sport about it all too. He's really meticulous about knowing the army rules and playing them together really well. It goes to show that he played it for a full year. It's really impressive, really, because I've played Thorin's Company before and it is hard to keep track of all that. So actually he had a really good method. This is just a sidebar. When he was like, I will explain all the rules, I promise, but I'll do it as we're playing. He was like, during the first move phase, I'll explain to you everything. And so basically, as he's moving the model, he's explaining to me every rule that model has, which was that's just such a good way to do it, in my opinion, because you're not wasting time on the front end, like before the game even starts explaining it. And then I'm also visually seeing which model is the one that does it. Like I vaguely remember their rules because I've played them before, but it was just a really good way of doing it. Anyway, shout out Sam, you're great. We're duking it out in the center. Sauron is throwing dwarves wherever he can. One of my trolls is throwing dwarves wherever he can. Totally on me. There was a combat where Sauron, I should say it's on my dice. I hate to blame dice, but it totally was. Thorin, I'm fighting Thorin alone with Sauron. Thorin is transfixed. I think he might have even been prone from someone chucking someone at him. I win the combat, cannot wound him. With all 4 of my dice, cannot wound him at all. I'm rolling like 1s and 2s. Can't do it. I think he had like 1 wound left. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't wound him. And then basically he just slowly killed all my orcs. He killed one of my trolls at one point. Actually, he might have killed both trolls. I don't fully remember. Basically, the center objective was uncontested because we had 2 heroes of legend there. And he held both side objectives because he just ran some dwarves over there towards the end. That was that. It was my 5th loss. But I will say, I had an amazing time at this tournament. Also, I had just freshly come off of the doubles win, so honestly, I didn't really care that much what was happening in this tournament. That sounds so silly, like you should maybe care about the grand tournament more than the doubles tournament, but I'm good. So, and also, like, I didn't think I was going to do particularly well with this army anyway. I really need to focus, like Sam does, on like just one army and just do that army. See if I stick to that in this coming year. March on Music City was great. Ian in Tennessee did an amazing job running it. I had a great time, and if I have a chance, I will go back to it this year. We'll see if I can end up going. Highly recommend. If you're in the Southeast, if you participate in any of these tournaments, I would go to this one. This was really fun. This was my first time going to it, and I had a great time. All my opponents were great. The scenarios were fun. Yeah, great time. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for being our friends and allies. Bye.